always imagined my graduation day would feel like stepping into sunlight after years of darkness, a moment where nothing and no one could dim my pride. But I should have known better. In my family, peace was always just the quiet before a storm. I remember standing backstage in my cap and gown, clutching the edge of my diploma cover, my heart pounding with a nervous kind of excitement. My name was minutes away from being called, and for the first time in a long time, I felt genuinely hopeful. My mom was in the audience. My dad too. And so was she, my older sister Amanda. Amanda had always been the golden child. Pretty, social, involved in everything, and loud enough to fill the whole room. I was the quiet one, the nerd, the overachiever, the one who actually stayed up studying instead of partying. We hadn't been close in years. Not since she stole my scholarship recommendation letter when I was 16 and pretended it was an accident. But I still believed, against all logic, that today she'd behave. I was wrong. The ceremony began. Students walked across the stage, parents cheered, cameras flashed like stars exploding. When the dean started announcing our honors, summa cum laude, magna cum laude, I felt a lump forming in my throat. My name would be called last from my department. I'd earned number 1 in my class. Next, the dean said, his voice echoing through the stadium, we'd like to honor a student who not only achieved the highest academic ranking but also received the University Integrity Award. A roar of applause. Exhaled. Everything I'd fought for. Finally worth it. And now, the dean smiled. Please congratulate. But before he could finish, before I could take a step toward the podium, a voice sliced through the air. A voice I knew too well. My sister cheated. Every head turned. The applause choked into silence. And there she was, Amanda, standing in the middle of the audience, finger pointed at me, face twisted with fake outrage. She cheated her way to the top, she yelled. She hacked the system. She plagiarized. Ask her professor. She doesn't deserve that award. A gasp rolled across the stadium like thunder. I froze mid-breath, mid-step. Like my soul had been yanked out of my body. My professor turned sharply. The dean's smile collapsed. Students whispered. Parents stared. Camera phones lifted. My entire world tilted. My mom covered her mouth. My dad muttered something under his breath. Someone in the crowd actually shouted, "Is that true?" And then, the worst moment, my sister smirked. That tiny, cruel smile told me everything. This wasn't anger. This wasn't justice. This was revenge. But for what? I felt heat rise in my chest. I wanted to scream. I wanted to run. I wanted to disappear into the floor. Instead, the dean leaned toward his mic. Ms. Parker, is there something you would like to say in response? I swallowed hard. My throat was dry as bone. Before I could speak, Amanda continued, louder, as if she'd been rehearsing this for weeks. You all think she's perfect, she spat. But she's been cheating since high school. It's all lies. I have proof. She fooled all of you. The crowd murmured. My knees felt weak. My mom stood up. Amanda, sit down, she yelled, voice breaking. But Amanda didn't. She kept talking. And then, he pulled out a folder, thick one, and waved it like a victory flag. These are her emails. Or files. Everything. She didn't know I could see her hand shake. She didn't know I'd recognize that folder. She didn't know it was mine. My eyes widened. That folder. The same one that went missing from my bedroom 2 months ago. She stole it. She stole it just like she had before. Only this time, she was trying to destroy me in public. On my graduation day, I slowly stepped forward, the stage lights burning into my skin. The dean held up a hand. Let's all take a moment. No, Amanda shouted. She doesn't deserve this award, and everyone needs to know. Security approached her row, but she moved back, raising the folder even higher like she had hostage evidence. I looked at my professor. He looked stunned, confused, hurt. But not because he believed her. Well, because he knew the contents of that folder. And then he met my eyes. Tiny nod. Something inside me clicked. Just like that, the fear drained out of me, replaced by something colder. Harper. I stepped to the mic, the audience silent, waiting for me to crumble. But I didn't. Everyone, I said, voice steady. My sister is right about one thing. The crowd shifted. She does have proof. Amanda smirked triumphantly. But she doesn't realize, I continued, that she stole the wrong folder. Her face dropped. What? She snapped. I exhaled slowly, the truth forming like a storm behind my ribs. That folder, I said, isn't evidence of me cheating. The stadium leaned in. It's evidence of the person who hacked my work, tried to sabotage my grades, and sent fake emails under my name. Pin drop silence. My professor and I have been investigating for months, I said. And guess what? I stepped to the edge of the stage. Amanda, you just brought the proof with you. The audience gasped. Her face turned pale. Her hand shook. Her folder slipped slightly. My professor stepped forward. Amanda, he said loudly, that folder contains the metadata and login logs showing a breach into your sister's account. We traced it back to your device. A roar of whispers exploded. My mom covered her face. My dad looked like he'd been punched. Amanda took a step back. No, that's not, this isn't. Her voice cracked. But it was too late. Security reached her row. I stood tall, heart pounding, breath shaky, but I didn't break. For the first time. She did. I watched as the spotlight shifted. Away from me. Onto her. The girl who tried to ruin my life. Not knowing she was carrying her own downfall in her hands. And this was only the beginning. Because she didn't know the rest of what I had planned. The part that would make her regret ever standing up that day. People think the worst part of betrayal is the moment it happens. It's not. The worst part is the quiet right after. When everyone is staring, judging, waiting for you to fall apart. That's what the stadium felt like. Silent courtroom. Thousands of eyes on me. Amanda frozen in place, clutching the folder that was about to expose her entirely. The dean cleared his throat. Let's relocate this discussion, he said, gesturing toward the side hallway. But no one moved. Everyone wanted to see what would happen next. Including me. You okay? My professor whispered. I nodded, even though my hands trembled. Not from fear anymore, from adrenaline. I stepped back from the podium and walked toward the stairway leading off stage. Security escorted Amanda toward the same hallway. She glared at me with pure hatred. You set me up, she hissed. No, I said softly. You set yourself up. The hallway behind the stage was cold, quiet, and smelled like old wood and new paint. The door shut behind us, muffling the crowd. My parents rushed in seconds later. Mom looked devastated. Dad looked furious. What is going on? Dad demanded, looking between us. Amanda pointed at me. She's lying. She did cheat. That folder isn't. The dean held up his hand. Amanda. Enough. The professor already confirmed the metadata. Professor Collins nodded. I personally worked with our IT team, he said calmly. All the unauthorized logins came from your device, your IP, and your student credentials. Amanda's face twisted. I didn't, that's not mine. But she couldn't finish. Dad's voice cut through her stuttering like a blade. Amanda. Did you break into your sister's account? Her eyes darted left and right. Her lips trembled. She tried to speak, but nothing came out. That's when Mom spoke. Amanda, tell us the truth. Silence. And for the first time in my life, Amanda couldn't form a lie fast enough. Her shoulders slumped. She looked smaller than I'd ever seen her. I just wanted the award, she whispered. I deserved it. I always deserved it. My chest tightened. So that was it. Jealousy. Old toxic, festering jealousy. Dad stepped back as if she had stabbed him. You humiliated your sister. On her graduation day. Amanda's voice cracked. It wasn't supposed to go this far. I just wanted someone to notice me again. Mom started crying. Professor Collins opened the stolen folder and pulled out the printed emails, the fake ones she'd sent, pretending to be me. Everyone stared at them in disbelief. Amanda looked like she was drowning. But there was something she still didn't know. Something that made my pulse steady with a cold kind of power. She wasn't the only one who came prepared today. The secret I had been holding. Amanda, I said quietly, do you know why we even discovered your sabotage? She looked up at me, confused. I reached into my gown and pulled out a small recorder. Her eyes widened. You recorded me, she gasped. No, I said. You recorded yourself. Tap the device. You remember the night you came into my room looking for my login codes? You left your phone recording on my desk. You forgot to turn it off. Mom's mouth fell open. Dad's face turned pale. Amanda staggered backward. You can't, that's illegal. No, I said calmly. You recorded the whole thing. A voice. A plan. Your confession. You broke. No. Well, no. Her breathing turned sharp and frantic. You're lying. You have to be lying. But she knew I wasn't. 'Cause she remembered that night. The door clicking. Her whispering to herself. Her bragging that she'd finally put me in my place. Professor Collins stepped closer. Your actions violate academic integrity code, cybercrime laws, and university conduct policy, he said gravely. This isn't just a family matter. This is a criminal matter. Amanda's legs buckled. She leaned against the wall. Dad rubbed his forehead. What happens now? Collins sighed. Well, university protocol requires a formal report. But, he nodded at me. Ultimately, the student she targeted can decide whether to escalate legally. The hallway froze. Everyone turned toward me. Amanda lifted her head, eyes red, breath shaky. Please don't do this to me. For the first time, she wasn't yelling. She wasn't acting superior. She wasn't smirking. She was begging. I didn't mean to ruin your life, she whispered. I didn't think you'd actually get the award. I thought that I'd fail. Yes. She swallowed. Yeah. Dad closed his eyes like the words physically hurt him. Mom looked like she was about to collapse. Amanda stepped closer. Please. Messed up. I know that. But don't press charges. Please. I looked at her. My sister. My biggest enemy. My biggest wound. And suddenly I knew exactly what to do. The power shift. I'm not pressing charges, I said finally. Amanda exhaled in relief. Her knees nearly buckled. But, I continued, you will tell the truth. In public. Right now. Her head snapped up. What? You humiliated me in front of everyone, I said. You'll correct it in front of everyone. She shook her head violently. No, I can't, I won't. You will, I said. Or I will send the recording and the logs to campus police. The dean folded his arms. Your sister is being generous, Amanda. Take the offer. Amanda's eyes filled with tears. She looked at our parents, desperate. But they didn't move. Dad's voice was firm. You owe her that. The return to the stage. Minutes later, security escorted us back toward the stadium. The crowd buzzed with curiosity. People whispered, craning their necks. The dean returned to the podium. Ladies and gentlemen, there has been a misunderstanding, he announced. One that Ms. Amanda Parker would like to clarify. Amanda stepped forward, trembling. I watched her grip the mic with shaky hands. Her lips trembled as she spoke into the silent stadium. I lied, she said weakly. My sister didn't cheat. I tried to sabotage her. I broke into her account. I sent fake emails. I'm sorry. There were gasps, murmurs, disappointed headshakes. Mom covered her face. Dad stared at the ground. But I watched Amanda, really watched her, and for the first time in years. I didn't feel small standing beside her. Felt powerful. The dean nodded. Thank you, Amanda. Now let us continue. He turned. And now, Our Integrity Award recipient and valedictorian. My name echoed through the stadium. This time, no one stopped me. I walked across the stage, head held high, the entire stadium erupting into applause. Amanda stood off to the side, watching. Her lies defeated, her reputation cracked open, her jealousy exposed. And she had no idea. This wasn't the end of the story. Because I still had one more truth to reveal. A truth that would change everything about our family.